Okay, you recording?
I am. And I got my beer.
Okay, good. Because we can't do this without beer.
Oh, yes, I definitely need alcohol this time.
Alright. Do you want something stronger? Do you want me to go out and get you some absinthe?
I don't want you to drive through the snowstorm that's outside.
You forget I live in California. It's a nice warm day out. The sun never goes down. Everyone's wearing a bikini.
The sun never goes down there? Do you know what would happen
Never.
if the Earth stopped turning for 1 second?
It would be awesome.
You would be flung at 800 miles an hour towards the west, and everybody on Earth would probably die.
What if it was more like a gradual stop, like an old person stopping at a stop sign? You know, if it was just like, oh, well, we'll eventually come to a full stop in about 5 years. Would I still get flung?
Well, a lot of the life on Earth would probably die.
Good. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, good. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I have to do it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome
No,
to
you know this is my job. I have one job, and I'm going to do it.
I was just trying to save you. I'm sorry. Don't beat me, Master.
That's okay. I won't beat you this time. Hey everybody, and welcome to Lemmy Finish. 2 men, 1 story, 1 million interruptions! Since everyone loved our last show, where Atticus described a movie to me and I made fun of him, we're gonna do it again! Atticus has another movie that he went to see that I have not seen, and he's going to try to tell me the plot of the story, and I am going to try to prevent him from doing it. Joining me, as always, is my friend Atticus Blake. Say hi, Atticus.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Alright, I can't wait to find out what the movie is. I honestly can't. So I'm gonna, I am actually pretending to not know for the audience. It is so disingenuous. Alright, let's call in the referee and let's get this bitch started. I'm in a sassy mood.
Okay, so the movie that I'm going to be recanting to you is the infamous, the awful, the atheist degrading God's Not Dead.
God's not dead? Is he coming after me?
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Is this like the I Know What You Did Last Summer thing where you think the guy's dead and then another movie comes along and he's still after you?
Yeah, he just keeps coming back over and over.
Are we going to get
again.
a God's Not Dead 2, The Reckoning?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, cool.
Except in this one, people live, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so God's not dead.
So
go for it.
The movie, and by the way, this is not a review or it's more of a summary, a shitty summary. I'm just saying. Anyway, so the movie opens with a montage of introducing characters walking around in their delightful lives, which includes the main character, and his name is Josh, and he is a white Christian boy who has never felt pain his entire life, I'm sure.
Does he say that? Hi, I'm Josh, and I've never experienced pain.
Well, he's got a beautiful blonde girlfriend that he met in Bible study, youth group, which I used to go through as a young kid, and it's horrific.
Isn't youth group just code for Bible study?
Essentially, yeah, except you get all the teenagers together and threaten them with hell. No, I'm just... but they do that. Anyway.
Do they? Do they then leave the kids alone to talk about their feelings about God, and then everyone just starts
No, never, ever.
Like a hot youth group where they're all like, oh, I can see your bra underneath that top, Marcy. And they're like, it becomes like a porno.
True story. I could have made out at youth group, but I didn't. I ended up just laying on the floor in the sanctuary while...
Like, in a prone position?
No. I was with a couple of girls. We decided to leave the campfire that was outside. It was an overnight lock-in. Well, not really a lock-in, but stay at church overnight thing. And we snuck off, and we decided to sit in the sanctuary and look through the skylight at the stars.
Oh, and you could have made out, but you didn't.
Well, I guess I could have. I'll never know because I didn't try.
Did the 2 girls make out over you?
No, but we got caught, and everybody thought we did.
Did you perpetuate that rumor, or did you try to live it down?
I just didn't deny it, that's all.
Oh, okay. Good smokescreen, gay boy.
Exactly. Jason knows me well, and I hope our audience knows me well.
By this point, everyone should know that Atticus is a gay former Christian.
Yes. Okay, so we open, and Dean Cain plays a character, and by the way, they rarely say that...
Who's Dean Cain?
Dean Cain is a person who played Superman on TV.
Oh, in the Lois and Clark thing.
Yeah, it was awful.
TV show with Terry Hatcher.
The Curse of Superman.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, the Curse of Superman is you wind up in Christian Bible movies?
Yeah, every single person who has played that part has had some problem later in life.
Yeah.
Like getting good parts.
I remember when Christopher Reeve was forced to do Christian Bible movies.
No, he just snapped his neck after falling off a horse.
You know why? God's not dead.
Oh.
God went after him first.
Because there weren't enough Christian themes in his version of Superman?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have Josh, white Christian boy.
Yep, and
his blonde girlfriend.
Yep,
and Superman.
Sorry if I forget his name. So yeah, the names were rarely mentioned except for the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
So if I forget them, I don't know. Fuck it. This is the same as last week. I'm just recanting shit I remember from watching it. And by the way, I just watched this before we did the podcast, so it's
that memorable, huh?
It should be fresh in my mind, but fuck it. Dean Cain,
drink more beer,
is a complete asshole. He is an elitist, blue blood, white collar, money making machine, and his girlfriend is an interviewer. A writer for a newspaper, and she's an atheist, and he's an atheist, and they're obviously atheists are complete
awful, horrible people.
Yes,
with horns.
Yes,
and they breathe fire.
Exactly, that's what we do. Anyway,
okay, just so long as it's a balanced portrayal of real people.
Yep.
Okay. What do they have to do with Josh and his blonde girlfriend?
Well, that thing is, this plot is so herky-jerky. It moves you from one section of the story to another instantly, and you don't know how some people tie into the story until later, and they're not really integral just until the end, where everybody
it's like Magnolia.
Yeah. Oh, God. If only it were that good. And Magnolia was bad. So you can imagine how bad this is.
Okay. So then we meet Dean Cain, his horrible girlfriend, and he's an ATM of some sort. You said he was a money machine.
Yeah, and his mother is in a nursing home because she has dementia, and the only thing that makes her happy every day is getting a plate of chicken, because every day she forgets that she got chicken the day
it's
before.
Like me. I'm not happy unless I get a plate of chicken.
Exactly, and some rice.
It doesn't take much to make me happy, folks.
Exactly. And the girl who is at the home with Granny is the professor's girlfriend. So that is the... I'm sorry. It gets confusing.
There's a professor from the island, from Gilligan's Island?
Yes, exactly. It's the professor from Gilligan's
Island. She's been waiting for the professor to come up. One day, they'll find him.
Yeah. No. Okay. So let's talk about the professor first. Guess who the professor is?
Is it... I don't know.
Hercules!
Someone bad.
Hercules!
Lou Ferrigno?
No, the other one.
That would be awesome if it was Lou Ferrigno.
It would.
I'm here to talk to you about... What kind of professor is he?
A philosophy professor. What else would an atheist be?
Oh, okay, everybody. Truth and beauty, beauty and truth.
No, we're talking Kevin Sorbo.
Oh, TV's Hercules.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he plays the professor.
He plays atheist, professor, evil, asshole. Evil.
Is that his official name in the
Exactly.
show?
That's what it says
movie?
right across his name tag. Yes. And
when he makes his first appearance, is it like a freeze frame and that appears right underneath his face? Evil, asshole, professor, atheist.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, so Kevin Sorbo, Kevin Sorbo's sister takes care of the granny in the nursing home. Dean Cain's sister takes care of the sister in the nursing home, and she is dating Kevin Sorbo. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So wait, is Superman's sister also an atheist?
No, she is a Christian.
But she's dating an atheist?
Exactly.
Okay.
They're unholy yoked.
I don't know what that means.
Well, there's a section of the Bible that explains that you shouldn't marry a person who isn't a Christian because that is considered unholy yoked, and the whole family will fail.
Oh, okay. Well, no judgments there. Okay, so she's dating Kevin. This really just sounds like a soap opera so far.
Yeah, it's a really extreme one where everybody is the exact extreme of everything they can possibly be.
Oh, you mean like on YouTube?
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo walks into the first day of class, and all of the kids are in this philosophy class, and Josh is in the class. And the first thing Kevin Sorbo does is explain what atheism is. And he does an okay job of it. It's not bad.
That was explaining that it's just not a belief in a higher power or a deity or deities.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. Fist bump.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm kidding. We don't fist bump.
You just witnessed the very first podcast fist bump.
Yes. And then what he does is say, I am going to make you all save the time about arguing about whether or not God exists by making each and every one of you sign a sheet of paper that states 3 little words. God is dead.
What? Huh?
So
basically he walks in and he's going to force everyone to agree that God is dead.
Yes, he tries to make them do something that is not only illegal, but that no professor would ever fucking do.
Not if they wanted to keep their job.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait a minute. Josh is in college?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that evil? Isn't college bad for you?
Mm.
I mean, if you're a Christian and you want to maintain your beliefs, isn't higher learning somehow akin to liberalism and communism and
depends on
all
what
the other
type of
isms that are
Christian
bad?
You are, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So does Josh do it, and that's the end of the movie?
No.
He's like, oh, I didn't realize God is dead. Okay, never mind.
No, he does not do it. And I agree with him not doing it.
Okay.
I don't think anyone should have to do this
Mm-hmm.
because of the reasons aforementioned, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I might have just written, fuck God, bye-bye. Anyway. No, I might have stood up for Josh. Like, yeah, man.
Because he said, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm a Christian.
Okay, and did he say that to the teacher? He said, I ain't doing it. I'm a Christian.
The professor said, you will have to prove the antithesis.
That he'll have to prove that God exists.
Yes. You can't...
Oh, well, that's an easy A, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, because, we haven't been trying to do that with philosophy for how long now?
Oh. What is Josh trying to be if he's taking a philosophy class?
Law.
Oh, okay, of course.
Yes. Okay, so let's get
lawyer.
this fucking pile of shit moving. So, with the...
Yeah, how far are we in? Is this like the first 10 minutes of the movie?
Yeah, I know. The herky-jerky plot. We move on, and the interviewer girl accosts one of the members of the Duck Dynasty family outside of church.
What? The Duck Dynasty family is in the movie?
One of them. One of the members.
Oh, one of the members is the old man?
No. It's one of the younger brothers. I don't care. They were, as far as I know, they were douchebags golfing before, and now all of a sudden they grew big beards and pretended to be hicks when they never were. Anyway.
Yeah, well, for TV.
Yeah, exactly. TV and money.
To make money.
But, yeah. So she accosts them, and she starts...
Why is she accosting people outside of church?
She's an interviewer. She's a reporter for... I told you, she's a reporter for a fucking magazine.
What is she reporting on?
She's asking him why he makes things that lead animals to their deaths.
What? You're joking. Is that really what she's reporting on?
Yes. And she mocks him for being a Christian.
Why isn't she at, I don't know, a slaughterhouse or, any other place that routinely kills animals by the thousands every day?
I don't know.
Why is she at a church bothering the Duck Dynasty guy?
Because she wants to mock somebody, because that's what...
Oh, wait a minute. I keep forgetting. Idiots wrote the script. Never mind.
Yes.
This is what they think reporters do.
And every atheist is a straw man atheist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's, all in their face. She's like, why do you like dead ducks?
Yeah, and what's funny is the Q&A that goes on in the movie is usually the exact opposite, with Christians accosting people who are non-believers or believers in other faiths and then mocking them for it. But let's not point that out for purposes of this show.
Does that happen in the movie or no?
No, of course it doesn't. Christians never do anything wrong.
Oh, okay. So he's just trying to mind his own business, getting right with God with his wife, and this mean reporter comes up and she quietly tucks her tail into her skirt, and she goes up and she says, "Why do you hate ducks?" or something along those lines.
Okay, so herky-jerky plot again. What we see is Josh walking through the lunch line with his girlfriend, and they're talking about what the professor's making him do. Oh, I forgot to explain. The professor says, I will give you 20 minutes at the end of each class for 3 classes for this debate or your arguments for the existence of God. And
there are lots of students on Josh's side.
No, there are none.
Oh, he's all by himself.
Exactly, because that's the way it always is. There's never any Christians around when you need them.
He's like Daniel in the lion's den.
Exactly.
No, he's like Jonah in the belly of the whale.
It the underdog fallacy, where if you're the underdog, it obviously means that you're correct.
Oh, well, also remember, Christians are persecuted. They are a minority, and they're outnumbered 900 to 1.
Yeah.
Is there a really Jewy guy in the class who's telling him to sit down?
No.
Oh.
Well, anyway, sorry. So we're...
Why don't you sit down and shut up so we can learn about how God don't real? That was horrible.
That doesn't make
I turned him into an idiot. Make your gun so we can hear how God don't reel.
So Josh and his girlfriend are walking to the lunch line, talking about what's going on in this debate and all this shit, and she's arguing with him about it. She doesn't want him to do it. And what we see in the background is a girl working behind the lunch counter. No, you got it. Is a girl walking around behind the lunch counter who works there, and she's I would have to say from the Middle East.
Okay.
And she's listening to them talk. And
does she have like a burqa on, or
no,
hijab, or whatever they call it?
She leaves the workplace and then puts the hijab on.
So she's a secret Muslim.
No, she doesn't want to wear the hijab at work.
Does she report back to her cell?
No, well, essentially she might as well, because it's her father who picks her up, and he really, really wants her to wear the hijab, and there she is wearing it, so obviously she must have never took it off.
Oh. What does this have to do with anything?
Well,
have we even met her before?
That's the point, is that all Muslims are like that because a movie said so. Yes. Okay, so...
Wait, is that the total plot point?
That I believe...
We don't spend any more time with this person?
No, we do. We see her later on, but the thing is, the plot point is Muslim is wrong, Christianity is right, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Okay, so...
I don't get it.
Cut to Josh.
All right, anyway.
Josh is in church at night, and he is alone. And
masturbating?
He should be. Oh, my God. He needs it. And I got to tell you, out of all the characters I like, the only one that I like is Josh.
Because he's cute?
Well, not just that, but the fact that he has balls.
Not just that.
I'm not kidding either.
Oh, my God.
What? He is a young, buxom 20-something with a big, cute smile.
Buxom? He has big tits? Isn't that what buxom means?
Doesn't buxom mean being... all right, I'll use a different... He's handsome.
You just realized what the word meant.
I thought it meant that the person was defined.
Brawny?
Defined or brawny.
Oh,
okay. So he's not brawny, but he is definitely cute.
Okay.
But he's the only character I like because he's the only one with balls.
Because he's standing up to his teacher.
And he's the only one that is really developed much in the story, even though he's kind of a one-track, one-dimensional character. He's a well-developed one-dimensional character.
So you're falling for the very clear God, what is the word I'm looking? Propaganda that they're pushing.
Exactly.
Where they've made this kid into the hero because he's standing up to the ruthless tyranny of atheism and secret Muslims.
Well, see, this is my problem.
And don't forget, I'm back here waiting for us to talk about the don't God.
Well, this is my problem with the entire thing. I would agree with Josh on the grounds that he should not have to do this. No professor should do this, but then again, that has nothing to do with...
But then again, you're also talking about a situation that not only doesn't happen, but can never happen, and if it ever did, they would have a new philosophy teacher.
Exactly. He would be fired.
Okay.
And I would push for him to be fired as well, as an atheist.
But Josh, instead of going to the administrators, he just goes, oh, I'm going to fight him.
Yeah, well, he's in church at night, and he meets up with the pastor who works there, and he explains to him what's going on, and the pastor says, this may be the only time in these young people's lives in that class where they'll encounter Jesus. So you should probably do it.
What? Is he joking?
Exactly.
In this country, that is the only time that they're going to encounter Jesus is in that classroom?
Exactly.
What's this pastor's name? Pastor Horseshit?
Yes, Pastor Horseshit. Pastor Horseshit, yeah, he comes up a lot in this.
I'm sure he does, because, he is a key figure in Josh's spiritual health and well-being, and he's probably the only person that ever touched Josh's penis.
Okay. So, Star Wars open. And the herky-jerky plot.
You mean a title scroll that describes what's going on?
No, Star Wars open with the circle open.
Oh, you mean an iris open?
Iris open, yes, okay.
Okay.
The snippy interviewer girl, guess what?
What?
She finds out that she has cancer.
What?
Well, that's what atheists deserve, apparently.
Okay, I guess. So she's at, the doctor's office?
Yeah, so she's at the doctor's office, and the doctor... She's actually, answering her phone in the meantime while he's speaking, and he's like, you have cancer. And they don't really tell her where it is. I don't think I remember. But he essentially tells her... She has
mystery cancer that has no name. He just says cancer.
He essentially tells her she's going to die, and she says, I don't have time for cancer.
What?
Okay. okay?
You know what? I am losing patience with this. Doctors tell you exactly what kind, and they don't. All right. And she doesn't look sick at all. She's like perfectly healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But she has that special kind that's just gonna kill her right away.
I guess so, because of, I mean, dude, that's what she deserves.
Oh, she has spiritual cancer.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So then we slide open to Josh and his girlfriend sitting on a bench in the park talking about that fact that he is going to do this debate, and she's pissed at him.
This is the biggest thing that has ever happened to him, is that he's going to do a debate with a teacher in college.
Yeah. And one thing I found kind of amusing about this is the fact that it's his first year at college, so I can only assume that he's 18.
Yeah.
And he says aloud, for the purposes of plot, that he met her 6 years earlier, and they've been girlfriend and boyfriend ever since. So that means, if I'm counting correctly,
they've been boyfriend and girlfriend since they were 12?
Yeah.
Okay, that's arranged marriage kind of
but
crap.
you know, they probably never touched each other, except, you know.
Oh, well, no, he's probably never seen her naked. She's probably never seen him naked. They're probably both secretly
Which
gay.
is
So it doesn't
horrible.
matter.
Yeah, I wish he was secretly gay. Okay, so we have random scene in the movie where the priest is talking to his friend who is a missionary from Uganda or some...
What? Pastor Horseshit is talking to a Ugandan person?
Mm-hmm. Missionary who's come to the United States because he wants to see Disneyland.
Where do they live?
I don't know, but they're gonna drive there.
Okay.
Cut scene to the first debate.
Wait a minute, we really had to break through for a scene where a pastor and a guy from Uganda are gonna drive to Disneyland?
Jason, I know it's terrible, but it will all make sense in the end if I can ever get through this.
So the Ugandan missionary takes a break from burning children because he believes they're witches. Flies to the United States to go to Disneyland.
Well, according to the pastor, he's there in the trenches winning hearts for God.
Oh, okay. That's code for burning children as witches.
I may be wrong. They didn't say he was Ugandan. But, however, and I'm just drawing on my experience, his accent sounded that way because I've worked with numerous people from Uganda. Just saying.
So the actor who's playing him did his research. Or maybe he is a real Ugandan missionary.
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. All right, so Pastor Horseshit is gone. He can't help him because he can't help Josh in his hour of need.
Can you hold on a sec?
Sure.
I'm sorry. I have somebody Skyping me and it keeps coming through while you're talking, and it's distracting.
I can't hear it. But
yeah, no, it's distracting me. I'm going to say doing the pod.
In the pod. That's okay. I'll amuse myself. Tinkle, winkle, dingley-doo. I like to play with my poo. I shape it into shapes and I call them names. They all go reach a level of fame. They're my famous
Jason, I'm
poo
done.
statues. Okay, where are we gonna go?
Okay. Okay, so the first thing that the kid does in order to defend his love, his friend,
of
God,
of Dgeypcun, yeah,
is he is up in front of the class and he says, "You can't disprove him."
That's his argument.
Essentially, that is his first argument. You cannot disprove the existence of God.
And does the teacher go, "You win," and he walks out of the classroom and hangs himself?
that would be awesome. Even if he hung himself, that would be so much better than the end of this goddamn movie. Oh, I knew this was going to be fun. So the first thing that he does, and the second thing that he does, is he brings up a graphic of the universe, and...
Wait, an accurate graphic of the universe?
Exactly. He believes he is an old Earth creationist.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Well, then that's not... at least he's not a new Earth creationist.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so, and he explains that everybody else in the scientific community believed that the universe was steady state, and yet the Bible stated that the universe had a beginning. Therefore, if the Bible was right about one thing, it must be right about everything else it states.
Oh, just like if the Ku Klux Klan was right about one thing, they're right about everything? Or like if Nazis were right about one thing, they're right about everything? I'm wondering how he carries that over. If he applies that to everything equally or just to the Bible.
Yeah. Okay, so in the middle of this scene, we have a cut to the Ugandan and the pastor.
Why?
Just for fucking fun? I don't know.
For fun, because this is the comedy relief.
Jason, there's a gay porn in the middle of this movie. You just don't know it.
Oh, is this the part where it's the gay porn where it's horse shit in the Ugandan and they're like at a truck stop?
Yes, exactly. Instead of the porn part, they get into their car and it won't start.
Oh my God.
No matter how much they try, it won't start.
Oh no.
Okay.
God doesn't want them to go to Disneyland.
Okay, and then we cut back to Josh, who brings up the...
Wait, seriously? We cut away from the thing that's supposed to be the climax of the film to watch two doofuses not start a car.
This is not the climax of the film. There are three debates, or three...
Oh, so this is the first debate.
Yes, okay. So then we cut back to Josh, and he brings up the greatest argument for the existence of God ever, which is the ontological argument.
Inform our listeners what the ontological argument is.
The universe began to exist. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the cosmological argument, rather. The universe began to exist. Everything that exists has a cause. Therefore, the universe has a cause. That cause, in their premise, must be... Guess it, Jason. Go ahead. Fill in my blank.
Mighty Mouse?
Yes, Mighty Mouse.
Awesome. Here I come to create the universe!
And then he says, this is his weird defense. Okay. So when one of the audience members brings up the fact that the cosmological argument doesn't make any sense, she doesn't explain that it's special pleading, but that's what it is. Mm-hmm. She gets to ask, and of course they bring up Richard Dawkins numerous times. If you say the universe was created by God, I have the right to ask, who created God? Because, Richard Dawkins is our appointed spokesman.
Oh, okay.
I guess. I don't know. He's not mine.
Is he in the movie?
No, he's not.
Oh.
Yeah. He ain't my spokesman. But anyway.
Yeah, he's not mine either.
He says that makes sense for a God who was created, but not one who's not created. Gotcha, atheist.
What? So, wait, if God's not created, then he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's not a gotcha. That's just adding another layer of,
Oh, I don't know. Okay, but then Kevin Sorbo, who is a very smug fucking asshole, and
dressed as Hercules, punches the kid in the face.
That would be awesome, but no, with his shirt off.
Oh.
No. Kevin Sorbo, another one of those guys who aged very handsome, by the way.
Oh, God. Can we not be distracted?
I had a boner for the whole movie. I'm kidding.
You were just like, kiss him, Kevin Sorbo.
So, Sorbo's a smug fucking asshole. And what he does is essentially appeal to Stephen Hawking, who explains, very correctly, but he uses it in a correct way, that a universe can come from nothing. And there are other new scientists who have explained how this works, the physics of it, the mathematics of it. I don't understand it. Therefore, I don't really know. I don't have to accept or reject it. But apparently, he accepts this and he says this to the kid, and the kid goes, I don't know. And he goes,
dun dun dun.
So the professor then says, you, the freshman, are going to say that Stephen Hawking is wrong?
Oh, argument from authority.
Exactly. Now, if our listeners don't know, there are 3 different types of argument from authority.
No, this is not going to become a primer about
No, I have to explain. No, I have to explain, because the first is when you set yourself up as an authority on a subject when you are not. Mm-hmm. The second is when you appeal to an authority who is not an authority on a subject. And the third is when you use an actual authority's authority in order to exempt you from scrutiny. And a philosophy professor did this. I don't fucking think so. So
remember, we're also arguing scientific principles in a philosophy classroom.
And is everyone? Well, aren't they the same thing?
Mm-mm.
Aren't they?
Mm-mm.
Jason, they're the same thing.
They're not the same thing.
They're not? Oh,
this movie is pissing me off.
It doesn't make you want to interrupt much, does it? You just want to get the fuck through this.
I want to get done. I want to get to the ending where the atheists die and the Christian boy marries the woman and they have 1 million babies.
Well, okay, so directly after the kid and the professor
gets the smackdown,
Sorbo accosts him in the hallway and
pushes him up against a locker.
He shoves him around by the arm, though,
and their mouths are really close.
Yeah, and he threatens the kid's future.
Oh, you're joking.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
It threatens it how?
He states that he will do everything everything he possibly can to make sure that this boy does not have a future.
Does he say what he's gonna do?
I don't know. He just says, I'll do everything in my power.
Oh my god. Okay. So, Atheist is bad. Got it.
Yeah, okay.
Can the movie be over now?
No. Sorry, Jason. Sorry. This is going to actually be probably a little longer than an hour podcast this time.
Not if I edit it, it won't be.
Suck my dick. I did this to piss you off.
All right, come on, get going.
So Josh leaves this, detrimental conversation to find out his girlfriend is very upset with him for having the debate. She told him not to do it, and guess what? She breaks up with him.
Oh, the poor kid.
He's happy
All of that
with it,
sex
though.
that he didn't. He's happy that she broke up with him.
He's like, you made that decision. You told me that I can't do it. You can't tell me what to do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, anyway, so...
Okay, yeah, well, she was a Jezebel anyway.
Yeah.
She didn't really believe in Jesus.
She wanted to jerk him off a couple of times, and that means that she's a bad girl.
How come you didn't describe that? Where was that in the movie? Was that between the atheist getting cancer scene and the car breaking down scene?
Dude, I made it up in my head because I wanted to see what that would look like. Hey, I have a mind, I have eyes.
So now Josh is single, but happy, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, all normal males are when the girl that he's loved for 6 years has broken up with him.
Exactly.
Because he has this more important fight with the absolute ruler of his academic destiny, apparently, Kevin Sorbo.
Yep. Okay, so cut scene to the Muslim girl at home.
Oh.
She's
remember her?
Finally alone in her room, and guess what she starts doing?
Masturbating? I don't know.
I only asked just to see what you would say. No.
You knew that's what I was going to say.
She is listening to a Christian podcast.
Oh, no. She's a double agent.
Yes. Okay, and the brother walks in and finds her.
Uh-huh.
And she screams at him, do not tell anybody.
And what does he do? Cut her head off?
No, we cut scene. He says he promises he won't do it, but then they cut scene. And guess where we are?
Iran?
Back to Dean Cain and his bitchy girlfriend.
Oh my god, okay. So now we're back to thing that has nothing to do with anything else in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's sitting to dinner with his girlfriend, and she exclaims that she has cancer. And he says to her, this is the worst thing a person could ever say, but of course they're all atheist straw men, so guess what? He says it.
Yeah.
Couldn't this wait until tomorrow?
You're joking, right? That is
Because he's so happy that he got a promotion.
So he's happy that he got a promotion, she says, I have cancer, I'm dying, and he's like, why couldn't you tell me this tomorrow?
Exactly, because that's what we do.
Oh, okay. No, fair. At least they're being fair with human beings.
Yeah, and atheists especially.
Yeah, okay. So that scene's over?
No, he leaves her.
Oh, he breaks up with her.
Yes, because that's what you do. Right after your girlfriend tells you that she has cancer and she's probably going to die, you gots to dump her.
Okay, so then what happens?
Cut to Josh in the library.
Mm-hmm.
He's picking out apologist books.
Oh, okay. He's in the apologist section.
Yeah, so instead of actually questioning his own beliefs in order to learn, he's looking for apologists' crappy answers to stuff that people
He's
say.
looking for rote answers that other people have come up with.
Exactly. So
that's fine. If he wants to research his position, that's what he's going to do.
Okay.
It's all he knows.
Yeah, I know. That's horrible. Anyway, so there's this kid that's sitting in the library, and he walks.
Is it Satan?
No, it's a young man who is from China.
Uh-huh.
And he is sitting there, and he says, "Josh, can I ask you a question?"
Mm-hmm.
And he asks him why he's doing this. Why is he doing this, Professor? And he explains, "I love Jesus."
That's what he says in the library to his Chinese friend.
Yeah, I love Jesus.
Okay.
That's why I'm doing it.
Okay.
Okay. Cut scene again.
What? That's it?
Yeah. Cut scene again.
Okay.
So we have the Ugandan man and the pastor. They have a rental car.
Oh, okay, good. Yay.
They get into the rental car, and the rental car guy says it's tip top. The motherfucker's tip top. And guess what?
It's tip top, and they go to Disneyland and they have a good time, and they discover that they secretly love each other at the end.
And they get the measles while they're there.
While they're at Disneyland?
Yep.
Perfect.
Exactly. No, anyway, I'm sorry. So the second car won't start.
Oh, Oh, Jesus does not want them to go to Disneyland.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I said, Jesus is fucking with you.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they know that there's a young kid here who's debating the most evil atheist in the world?
Yeah. Okay, cutscene.
Oh, my God. Okay.
We have the old lady in the nursing home, and Dean Cain has decided to visit his mom.
Oh, well, good for him.
And he's a dick to her.
Of course he is, because he's an atheist. Atheists are dicks. Haven't you learned anything from this yet?
I'm not a dick.
Does he grab her chicken and throw it against the wall and then pee on her rice?
That would have been awesome, but no, he's just like, you don't remember me. Me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
Cutscene.
This is where we have another cutscene and where we find out.
I knew it. That was the whole thing. He just goes in and they show him being a dick to his senile mom.
So we find out that Kevin Sorbo is dating Dean Cain's sister.
Okay.
And that she was a student of his.
Okay.
And that she is a Christian.
Uh-huh.
And that she is essentially his fucking servant.
Okay. That, all right. What, we see them at home and she's like bringing him food and all this other stuff?
Yeah, well, she's essentially a hot girl that hangs around. That's what it is. And she does. She makes him dinner and she serves him food and blah, blah, blah. And yeah.
Isn't that what good Christian women are supposed to do?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like their whole deal?
Cutscene.
Okay.
The Ugandan man and the pastor.
Yes.
Get one.
Have rented a mule.
They have rented another car. And they are assured that this car will work. And guess what?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't start. You got it right,
wow.
Jason. You win the podcast. Just because
I say
so.
Yay! And as winner of the podcast, I decree this movie over. And here is how it ended. Josh is struck by lightning. The end.
That's not funny, man. I've been struck by lightning.
Yeah, well, you survived. This is my premise. He doesn't.
Okay, so cutscene.
Oh, this is painful.
It is painful. You gotta watch it after. You have to.
I am never watching this movie.
When I meet you in person, I'm gonna bring a signed DVD by Kevin Sorbo and be like,
that will be your last day on Earth.
You're gonna watch it with your family too.
I am not.
I'll be like, hey, Jason's wife.
Hey, you know Jason's wife.
I know her name. I just don't want to say it. I don't know.
No, I took away her name because I'm an atheist.
And I go, hey, let's watch this torture your husband.
She has to earn her name back.
She'll be like,
what?
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know my wife at all. All right, so we're back. Kevin Sorbo.
We're back at Kevin Sorbo, and he is having a dinner party with all of his professor friends.
And they're all atheists, too?
And yes, of course they are, because that's what collegiate professors are. All of them are atheists.
Oh, okay.
Well, with the exception of my chemistry professor, whom I just recently met, who is a very nice Christian, took a lot of time out of his day in order to teach me chemistry, and told me that he didn't really like arguing about the existence of God at all. Oh. Except for that. But anyway, let's keep going.
Wait, your chemistry teacher's in the movie?
No. I was just saying for a real life mockery of this movie.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so he's at this atheist dinner party,
and the girl is his girlfriend is essentially his servant. And she is waiting on them hand and foot while he sits there and mocks Josh to all of his guests.
Okay.
And they all laugh. They're like, ha 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 ha! What a stupid young man!
Let's go out and murder him, and then let's murder some arbitrary people while we're at it.
And like a good person, she defends Josh and says, he's not really on your academic level, and you're just sitting there mocking him. I mean, what the fuck?
Yes, because this happens all the time, every day in America.
Exactly.
Okay, so she defends him. Kevin Sorbo gets his nose out of joint, and they break up.
They all laugh at her.
Oh.
They just mock.
She should be used to it by now.
I know, she sucks. No, she doesn't suck, actually. I would have defended Josh, too. So, cutscene.
Yes, another cutscene.
The reporter is at the doctor's office.
Remember her?
Yeah, remember her? And she goes in for her MRI. And the news is grave. Yep.
Is that the whole scene?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Okay, next scene.
Yeah, okay, so we cut to the second debate.
Oh, we're not only on the second one?
Yeah, and he decides to go after evolution.
Josh does.
Yes, and of course, the first thing he does is appeal to the person...
A science subject, a biology subject in philosophy class.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first thing he does is appeal to the very first person who put it all together. Not the first person to think about it, but the first person to put it all together and put it in writing and help people understand what the fuck we were doing in existence with life. Who was that person, Jason?
Big Bird?
Oh, it'd be awesome
I don't
if it
know
was Big
anymore.
Bird. Come on.
Was it, Benjamin Franklin?
I'm sure he thought about it too. But this man was a little bit later. He was born on the same day as Abraham Lincoln and the same year.
Was it Abraham Lincoln?
No, same day, same years.
The Pillsbury Doughboy?
Wrong again. Charles Darwin.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Right.
So
that guy.
His essential argument is, because the very first person who put this all together made a few mistakes, guess what? All of evolution is wrong.
Oh, that's his argument?
Yeah.
Because the scientific theory that he came up with wasn't absolutely 100% accurate the moment he put it together. It's completely wrong?
Yeah, in a time when he didn't know about genetics and we didn't know about like Mendelian laws and like quantitative traits and all those types of things.
Yeah.
So he was wrong about some things. It means he's wrong about everything. And then he says, so evolution only explains what happens when you have life, but where did the life come from?
Oh, check and mate, Mr. Sorbo.
And then he whipped out his dick and started jerking off.
Yeah.
All right, so then we cut back to the girl.
Wait,
in the
Sorbo
doctor's
doesn't have a
office.
response to this?
Yeah. No, I
wow,
don't
that's
remember
great.
all of it. You know.
Okay.
So we cut back to the doctor's office, and then the doctor breaks the news to the girl.
Wait, how many times has she gone to the doctor's office now?
No, well, this is after the MRI. So I don't think that
okay.
she totally knew whether or not she was going to die then. But now he
okay.
explains to her, she's like totally going to die.
Okay. Remember that time I told you were going to die? This time, total totes.
That's exactly
Gonna
how
die.
my bedside manner will go after I become
Yeah, that's
a
exactly how
PA.
you're going to be.
You're like, remember how I told you before how you almost might die? This time, you're totally gonna die. Just totally gonna die.
100% guaranteed.
A guaranteed, honey bunch. See
Oh
ya.
my god.
Yeah.
So now she's real upset.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we have more mocking from Kevin Sorbo.
What, just him standing in a hallway mocking nobody?
No, okay. I'm sorry. Cut scene. All of the students have left, and he is alone. And he is alone with Josh, and he mocks him and states the thing that most atheists do not ever admit because it's usually not true.
What's that?
All Christians believe that a tragic event is what makes a person an atheist.
What?
Now, while I agree that this can actually happen, this is their straw man. You hate God because, and he says...
Oh, Kevin Sorbo hates God because something bad happened to him.
His mother died of cancer.
Oh, and ever since then he's been like, I hate God. So they don't understand that the position is that if you hate God, that means you hate something, and so hence God exists.
Exactly. So he's a
I see.
straw
So
man.
they're trotting out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cutscene. The Muslim girl is in her room listening to the podcast.
Again, because this is all she does, apparently.
Well, this is all happening in the same day, I believe.
What? This can't all be happening on the same day.
Yes, it is. Anyway, so she is a Christian, and the father comes in and finds her listening to a Christian podcast, and he picks her up by the throat. Because, by the way,
what?
This is what Muslims do. This is what all of them do, apparently. Even though I've met hundreds of them who never do this. But anyway, who force their daughters to wear hijabs, even though all the Muslim girls I've ever met who wear hijabs, I ask them and they say, I choose to wear it. But either way, he grabs his daughter by the throat, because this is what you do with your daughter. I do it with my daughter all the time. He smacks her around and throws her on the floor, and he says, you will deny that now. And she says, no, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I love him, and he died for my sins. And then he picks her up by the throat again, and he throws her out of the house, and he rejects her.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow, I never realized they were so evil. I am completely turned around.
No.
Oh.
Anyway.
Is that the end? And then cut to
That's the end
happy
of the movie.
dancing squirrels.
The Duck Dynasty guy fucks his wife in the parking lot, and he's like, ah! And he's blowing a duck call at the same time. Okay, so our interview girl finally tells all of her employer or her employer and all of her friends that she's probably going to die. Cutscene again.
Oh my god.
The professor.
Yes?
The professor is talking at the university with his professor friends and being all, me, I'm a professor.
Because that's what they do.
Yeah, they stand around and go, bah, and he's sitting there going, Richard Dawkins, because again, he's apparently the appointed spokesperson of all of atheism.
Right. And he's the only one that we quote, and he's the only other notable atheist in the world.
Love that crooked
that has
smile.
ever existed.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. If there were anyone I would appeal to more, it'd probably be Hitchens, but either way.
Okay.
The girlfriend comes into the university, and she walks right up to her boyfriend, and she tries to talk to him, and the professor says, "I'm professor, not..." Yeah. I'm not.
What?
You don't call me by my first name. And then she's like, she bothers him again, and she says, "I'm leaving you."
Oh.
And all of the professor guys are like, "She's a stupid."
Did they all go, ooh, snap?
No, they're like, oh, when they're
You go, girlfriend.
What they're thinking is, I was at the dinner party the other night. She's a stupid Christian believer.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Please tell me a meteor hits this town.
Cut scene. There's one passing by tonight, by the way, and I can't see it because of a huge snowstorm that's hitting the northeast. But anyway, I'm here doing this with you because I love you so much and I love our audience.
I'm outside in my backyard in a bathing suit.
Fuck you, son boy. I will skull fuck you.
Jesus.
You've never seen snow, have you?
Oh, dude, threatening to show me this fucking movie wasn't bad enough. Now you're gonna skull fuck me?
I don't even know how skull fucking works. Do I have to rip out your eye first?
I don't know. Why would I know that?
I don't know. I think that you're as perverted as I am because you're an atheist.
Is that in the movie? I'm a skeptic. I identify as a skeptic.
Yes, but you lack a belief in God.
Yes.
So you're an atheist.
I don't like labels.
Atheist.
I think that's what it is.
Atheist.
I'm an agnostic gerbil.
So, cutscene.
Not another one.
The Muslim girl, I'm sorry, now Christian girl, is...
Oh, the Christian girl is wandering the streets.
She is with the pastor and the Ugandan man at the church because apparently they're the people who converted her. And I have to say...
Oh, wow.
I was sitting there saying, she is a teenager.
Yeah.
She lives with her father.
Yeah.
They are 100% accountable for what happens to this girl now because they are the people who converted her.
Yeah.
And she was kicked out of her home and lost her family as a result of switching sides. Mm-hmm. Fuck these
two. So what did the pastor and the Uganda missionary do?
We will help you as much as we can. So, okay, they accept responsibility, but I still think that what they did was wrong.
Okay.
Anyway.
Whatever. Cutscene.
You called it. In the elevator with the professor.
Uh-huh.
We see an elevator open. Josh walks in, and he's in the elevator with the professor, and the professor says, "I am going to change the rules of this debate by being a part of it with you. To sit there and mock you because that's what we do."
Oh,
so,
okay.
Cut to debate number 3.
Ding, ding, ding. And the Rocky theme plays.
The question of evil.
What?
The boy answers with free will. You must have free will in order to come to God of your own free will, in order to love him and show him that you love him. And then the professor argues, you're probably going to be talking about moral absolutes later. And so Josh says, you can't talk about moral absolutes because you don't have a basis for your moral absolutes.
Oh, God.
And you know what I say to this every time I fucking hear it? Why do I need one?
Yeah, they need one. See, this is
just
the
be good for
flimsiest
good's
of arguments, because you'll hear people like this say things like, well, if there is no God, then we're all just going to deject evil and people can run around and kill whenever they want, which really clearly illustrates, wow, well, I'm thankful that you believe in God, because if you didn't, apparently you'd just run around and kill people.
So essentially, the kid states the thing that all Christians state. Well, not all. I'm sorry. I'm straw-manning Christians now. What I should say is Christian apologists state that all of them state, if you have no God, you have no moral basis to object to me saying stupid shit. And if there is no God, there is no reason to be moral.
Okay.
It's essentially an argument from consequences. And then the kid...
Right. But then they never turn around and they never explain why it is that atheists are moral.
Oh, they say...
When they act morally.
Oh, no. And then that came up. And then he says... Well, no, I'm not saying you can't be moral. You just don't have a basis for your morality. So essentially, it's a non sequitur thrown out there.
It's a non-argument. It's like, well, doesn't that make our morality stronger since we're not driven by fear of a God that's going to spank us?
So the kid lights into him, and he says, "Why do you hate God?" It's almost like the scene where Tom Cruise walks up to Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men, and he says, "I want the truth!" And he keeps saying it over and over again. Why? why do you hate God? It's a simple question. And actually, by the end, it's pitiful. It kind of reminds me of that scene in Good Will Hunting where Robin Williams is talking to Matt Damon and he's saying, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me, man. Because then Kevin Sorbo breaks down and he says, because he took everything from me.
Oh my god. So in this movie, that is the ultimate comeback, is why do you hate God?
Exactly.
Okay. Movie over?
No, not yet.
Oh, god damn it.
So what happens is
Josh goes on a shooting spree.
You know, you almost got me to say that would be awesome, but it's not awesome.
No, it's not. But I mean, come on. What could possibly happen next?
He says, "Let me ask our jury. Let me ask the people
classroom?
in the audience. Is God dead?" And like the scene in Spartacus, each one of them stands up and says, "God is not dead. God is not dead. God's not
so he
dead."
convinced everyone in the classroom.
Yes.
Oh, it's a miracle.
Yeah. And then the professor storms out.
And then hangs himself.
No.
The end.
Cutscene.
Ugh.
So, we are with the pastor and the Ugandan man. Car number 4.
Are they in Disneyland?
Is
the Muslim girl with them now?
Have faith that the car will start. No, she just fucks off and then isn't seen until later again. But whatever.
What? You mean in hour 9 of this fucking movie?
They put her in a fucking closet and told her to shut up because that's what Christians do.
Here's a box of Nilla wafers. We're going to be back in 2 weeks.
Because if Muslims shove their women around, then Christians lock them in closets and don't feed them. Oh no, I'm sorry. They gave her a pad and said, when you bleed in this, eat it.
Ew! Oh my god, that's getting cut out. Jeez!
Well, how can I strawman Christians any worse than they have strawmanned the Muslims in this movie?
Well, they're strawmanning themselves in this movie. Okay, so...
Anyway, cutscene,
number
4.
Car number 900, and...
Have faith the car will start, and guess what?
It doesn't start.
It starts.
It explodes.
Yeah.
Oh, so all they needed was faith this entire time.
Exactly. So, cutscene.
What?
Dean Cain visits his mother again, and he mocks her. You believed your entire life, and my life is great, and your life is shit. Explain that.
Oh my god.
And she's just sitting there like a dumbfounded,
Where's my chicken and rice?
Where's my chicken and rice? And then all of a sudden she speaks and she says, sometimes Satan makes your life comfortable so you won't turn to God. And he's just sitting there like,
what?
Ooh. And she's like, your sin's a prison. And then the door shuts when Jesus comes back, and it's too late.
And then she dies.
No, she looks at him and she goes, who are you again?
And Dean Cain's like, bleh.
Okay, cutscene.
What?
So, our young reporter girl has cancer, and she decides that she is so angry atheist, that she is going to... Now,
burn the church down?
Now, I've got to explain that a constant theme throughout this movie is that the Newsboys, the Christian rock alternative band, is being promoted throughout the whole thing. Josh is wearing their T-shirt.
Called the Newsboys?
He bought tickets to their concert, and they are in the movie. I remember listening to
They're constantly reminding everyone that there's going to be a big Christian rock concert.
Exactly. I remember having an album of theirs, and it was all, hey, love of Jesus, because we can do rock and roll too. Yeah.
We actually do lots of sex and drugs where we're making money selling music to Christians.
Now, while I'd say they are talented musicians, I don't really care for the music anymore, obviously. They're good singers, they're good musicians, but I don't care for the music. So,
whatever. This has been Music Minute with Atticus.
Our young interviewer who has cancer, is going to die, decides that she's going to accost the Newsboys now. And
why?
Ask them. What? Because that's what angry atheists do.
Okay.
She mocks them. And
first she accosts the Duck Dynasty people, and is it possible that she's just really not good at her job?
Exactly.
Okay. So she's going to accost this Christian rock band.
Yeah. And she's like, you all are going to go sing about God as if he's as real as you or me. And they're like, well, yes, of course, because, the thing is, they are real to us. And then all of a sudden, they accuse her of having no hope. And she breaks down and cries.
Okay.
And he says, I think...
The end?
No.
God damn it.
This is still more funny. I gotta torture you.
No!
And then he says, I think you came here to find out about Jesus, and that's the real reason you're here. And she says,
God.
And he says, I think you want to find out the truth. And she says, that's true. And she becomes a Christian.
All right.
Cutscene.
I'm not even listening anymore.
No, you got it. Hey,
no, fuck you.
I'm going to keep...
No,
I am here to keep your dick hard through this whole thing.
I'm fairly... It hasn't been hard once, dude. Not once.
Bullshit. Everybody listen to this podcast because my voice is so silky and awesome. And
not when you're talking about this bullshit.
So do you. Anyway, so the professor is lonely in his office, and he is looking at every single signature of every kid that said God's not dead, and realizing all of them now believe that God... I'm sorry, he made them all say God is dead, and now now they say God is not dead. And then he just happens to have this letter from his dead mother.
What? That he carries around
in
with
his
him?
drawer, and he opens it up, and she's all sappy, like, I'm sorry that I'm going to die, and I'm not going to be there to witness your life because God has a plan for you. Cutscene.
Okay.
And the girl who has cancer now has become a Christian, and she's crying and sobbing, and they're praying, Lord Jesus, please be with you.
Who's they?
The Newsboys. The Newsboys themselves. The Christian rock band.
On stage?
No,
they're like, hey,
backstage.
we just converted somebody. Okay.
Because somehow she got tickets, because that's how that works. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they start to put on the concert, and the professor, cutscene to the professor, and he's calling his girlfriend to try and apologize to her. He can't find her, but then he looks at his desk, and there's a newspaper there that says the Christian rock concert is going on.
Oh, God,
so
please, no.
He's going to go down there and see her. You know exactly where this is going. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it for yourselves, people. So he decides to leave.
You're the only person that's enjoying this.
I love it. I love it. Everybody.
This is the last podcast.
Fuck you. This is number 23.
All right, so he's going to the concert.
And he is walking along the street, and it starts to rain. But he doesn't want to wait for the light to say it's okay for him to go. So he walks into the street, and guess what?
He gets hit by the pastor.
Yes! He gets hit by the...
All I had to do was
turn
on my convoluted.
And the Ugandan man. And he flips head over heels over the car and lands on his spine. And somehow, okay, get this. He's bleeding from the mouth, and he is dying. And the Ugandan man walks over and goes, his ribs are crushed. And I'm like, how the fuck
How
do
does
you
he know that?
And I said, and I'm like, well, somebody call the ambulance. I mean, and somebody does, but I'm like, rather than anybody try and call for help from somebody who knows anything in the medical profession, because if your ribs are all crushed, there are ways to actually prevent you from dying.
Yeah.
But they don't do any of that shit. Instead, the pastor starts proselytizing. Sir, I believe that God has given you this chance before you die. Because, of course, the Ugandan man says he's going to die. He must die.
Yeah.
So that you can accept Jesus Christ before you die. And he says, I'm an atheist. And he starts proselytizing. All you have to do with this last chance of your life. And he's dying. This is a dying man who is being harassed in his last
Who has just told them that I don't believe what you believe.
Harasses this man in his last moments of life to becoming a fucking Christian during a horrible death. A horrible, painful death that can be prevented in some way.
Yeah, that he was murdered by a missionary and a pastor.
He asks him to accept Jesus into his heart, and guess what the professor does?
He does.
He does. And then he says, you don't worry about, the pastor says, you don't worry about a thing. In a few minutes, you're going to know more about God than anybody on the planet. And I said, you know what? God is not dead for these people. But guess who is dead?
I don't know the movie industry.
Hercules. Hercules is dead.
Is that the end of the fucking movie?
No, we got to cut back to the concert because everybody is there. The Muslim girl, the girlfriend, the
Muslim girl's father with the machete hacking through the crowd.
No, and the newsboys,
the cars,
the girl who has cancer, and guess who comes on the telescreen?
The Duck Dynasty guy?
Yes. How did you know that? How did you guess? How did you guess? He comes on and says, I heard that someone's professor tried to tell people that God's dead, and you're defended
joking.
God. Because this totally happens at Christian concerts.
I guess.
And he says, I love that you defended God, and this next song's for you. Now, what I want everybody in the audience to do is text to everyone they know that God is not dead.
Oh my God, this is where they want everyone in the audience of the movie theater to do it.
Exactly. And
ew.
And
just
everybody
gross.
does it. And everybody smiles when they get the text. And guess what? The Asian kid that was questioning before said he decided he would follow Jesus. He texts God's not dead to his father. And Josh texts God not dead to the pastor. And the girl texts
so
God's
it literally
not...
does turn into a Christian wet dream at the end.
The girl texts God's not dead to the professor's phone, and the pastor picks up the professor's phone, and it says God's not dead. The Ugandan man receives a text, God's not dead. And then
who had the Ugandan guy's text?
They go into this Christian-y song that I remember, like God's not dead, he's surely alive, he's rolling on the inside, roaring like a lion, and everybody's happy and clapping, and I said, these kids need to fucking mosh, break down, and have a goddamn orgy, because this is the end of the movie.
Thank God!
And then the credits roll, and it says, this is your chance. Text God's not dead to everybody.
Oh.
And then afterwards, it says, this movie is inspired by all of the lawsuits from Christians who were mocked at their school who are now in litigation. And when I read some of them, it said in pretty much every single one, the case was that the Christians lost the case because they were essentially, or I don't know, whatever reason. And then the university lost the case because they mocked the Christian or whatever. And that was the credit. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck did I just watch? Oh, yeah, it's to torture Jason.
Yeah, thanks.
End of story.
Fuck you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Let Me Finish. This is the last podcast ever. I'm not doing another one. I didn't even bother to check and see if anyone wrote any reviews.
You know what I'm going to do next week? I'm going to watch A Matter of Faith.
We are never doing another one of these again. The next movie, it better be a sci-fi or something, because I ain't sitting through this bullshit again. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in.
You're so depressed.
You can find this show on iTunes and Stitcher and at SoundCloud under Let Me Finish. If you want to go back and listen to the happier episodes. I would like to thank Atticus for his gift of story this week.
You're welcome. I'm skinny.
I would like to thank Jesus.
I would like to thank Jesus Christ, who all things are possible.
I'm sorry that I didn't. I'm sorry that I didn't look up the reviews. I promise I'll do it next week.
Ask some motherfucking
questions. And we didn't get
people.
any questions. Someone ask us a question, even if it's like, what can I do to have you guys never do another Christian movie again?
Anything, seriously. Ask us anything. I don't care what it is.
So, until next time, this has been Jason Harding.
God's dead. He's so dead.
This podcast is proof enough of that, isn't it?
Exactly.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
6 beers and that was
6. You needed 8 more. You needed to forget more of that story.
I'm sorry. I had 2 beers before we started.
Oh.